Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I just want to say right off the bat that this is my first ever video of this kind, so please don't condemn me if something goes haywire in the middle of this, because I honestly don't know what way it's going to turn out. So yeah, as you can see from the title of this video, it's going to be a brief history of the World Heavyweight Championship within WWE. Now I do want to say that this will not cover WCW, so anyone who wants to see about Flair, Sting, Kevin Nash, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, this is not the video for you, because I'm not going to cover WCW. This is just going to start straight from when the world title was reinstated into the WWE in 2002. I probably will do a WCW world title history at some stage, but I don't have everyone from WCW, so I will need to get them before that. So yeah, let's get straight into this. So as you can see, here we have Eric Bischoff. Now Eric Bischoff never actually won the world title. The reason I have Eric Bischoff here is because he was the man who reinstated the title into the WWE. It was after the brand split. SmackDown had Brock Lesnar with the title. He had just won it from The Rock, and Raw had no champion, so they brought in they reinstated the world title, and Eric Bischoff handed the title straight over to Triple H. Now, I do think that was a fairly cheap way for Triple H to be given the title, but I guess he was probably the best Raw had at the time, so they probably had no other option. But maybe a tournament or something, it could have worked out a bit better. So Triple H held the title. He defeated Rob Van Dam at Unforgiven, but then once Survivor Series came, he lost that straight away to Shawn Michaels. Now, this is the DX version of Shawn Michaels. I don't have Shawn Michaels in his normal ring attire. I would like to get that. I will get that at some stage, but at the minute, this one will do me. So Shawn Michaels held the title for one of the shortest reigns in the history of WWE. He only had it, I think, was it 24, maybe 28 days. It was something along the lines of that. It was a really, really poor title run. I mean, he lost the title straight away to Triple H back at Armageddon 2002 in its 3 stages of hell match. Triple H held the title then from December in 2002 the entire way through to September 2003, when he lost to Goldberg. Now, Goldberg, in my opinion, probably should have won the title way, way before this. I mean, he had that match at SummerSlam in the Elimination Chamber where he was screwed out of the victory there. He definitely should have won that. But to see him win the world title eventually, I think it was satisfying for most people. But then again, just like Shawn Michaels, he held the title for about 2 months. He lost it. It was 3 months. He lost it at Armageddon 2003 back to Triple H. Now, Triple H at this time had been holding the title quite a long time. He held it from December 2003 up until March 2004 at WrestleMania 20, when Chris Benoit beat him. Now, I don't really have much to say on Chris Benoit. I respected him in the ring, but that's all we'll say. Chris Benoit lost the title to Randy Orton at SummerSlam 2004 in a pretty big upset, I'd say. I mean, I don't think many people were expecting to see that. Randy Orton, at the time, became the youngest World Heavyweight Champion ever. I mean, I know Brock Lesnar won the WWE title back in 2002 and he was crowned the youngest ever champion, but I think Orton overtook him. I'd need to go back and look at that. I'm not too sure what the ages were. I think Orton was 24 when he won the title. Lesnar might have been 22, but 2 different titles, so we'll not dwell on that. Orton held the title until, again, it was only 24, 25 days. It was I think it was tied for the shortest World Championship reign in history, along with Shawn Michaels. He did lose it at Unforgiven to Triple H again. And Triple H held it until WrestleMania 2021 in 2005, when Batista, who had won the Rumble that year, had turned his back on his former mentor, as they were both in Evolution, and he beat Triple H. I'm not a big fan of Batista. I don't really have much time for him at all, so I didn't really care to see him win the title. He did hold it for an extremely long time, however, because he held it from April 2005 the whole way to January 2006, when he actually got injured and vacated the title. Now, it was a massive night because Teddy Long decided to have a 20-man battle royal on SmackDown. and Kurt Angle decided to jump ship the same night, so he came from Raw to SmackDown. Massive shock. It ended with Angle and Mark Henry as the last two men in that Battle Royal, and Angle won it, which was amazing because I am the biggest Angle fan. Angle is my top man. Always has been. I mean, he's in TNA now, but we'll say nothing about that. I mean, that's tired, and what was it? TNA, tired and aged wrestling. That's what I say about that. Now, Kurt Angle he retained the title against The Undertaker at No Way Out, but lost it at WrestleMania to Rey Mysterio, which was a triple threat, also involving Randy Orton. Now, I have no time for Rey Mysterio. He was good back when he used to be able to move in 2003, 2004, but now, even in 2006, I have no time for Rey Mysterio. I mean, I really don't at all. In my opinion, he shouldn't have won the title, but again, it was down to the whole death of Eddie Guerrero, and there were probably, he said Ray did say that he was winning it in dedication to Eddie, so I guess you can't really say much bad about that. Ray then lost the title to King Booker. King Booker didn't win it fairly at all. It was only with help from Chavo, who had a pretty lame reason. I mean, Chavo said the reason he was helping King Booker was because he was tired of Ray dedicating his matches to Eddie. I mean, if anything, Chavo should have been happy with that, but obviously not. So King Booker won it. I was glad to see that because Booker T needed to win a title. I mean, the last time he had any type of world title was in WCW a long time ago. Booker T then, yeah, he lost the title after a few months back to Batista. Batista returned from his injury, won the title. Batista then held the title the entire way through to, let me see, it was WrestleMania 23 when he lost to The Undertaker. This was The Undertaker's first ever recognised World Heavyweight Championship win, which was great because I am a fan of The Undertaker, and I just want to say this figure of The Undertaker right here, this is one of my favourite figures I own. Now, I have a massive collection. I own, it's about 220 something figures, and I don't have any of the same, so I don't have like 50 John Cena's or 20 Rey Mysterios like the majority of kids. All my figures are different, and this I have to say is one of my favourites. Now, Undertaker had the title for quite a while until Edge, who had beaten Mr. Kennedy for the Money in the Bank, cashed in against Undertaker after he had just went through a steel cage match with Mark Henry. Now, Edge won the title, held it a couple of months until he got injured by Kane. It was August, could have been August, I think, when he vacated the title, and again there was a 20-man battle royal on SmackDown, and the biggest disaster happened that Great Khali won. I have no time for the Great Khali. I don't like him. I have this figure for one reason, and that's because I like strange looking figures. I guess he's bigger than the rest of them. I mean, you can tell by the height. If you compare the height of Khali to CM Punk, for example, who stand next to him, they both stand up straight, and Khali is by far the biggest. So yeah, I have no time for Khali. He should never have won that, but he won it in what I see as one of the worst world title reigns ever. He did lose it to Batista again, who again wasn't great because I don't really have time for Batista, but I guess it was better than Khali holding it. Batista then lost to Edge at Armageddon 2007. Edge went on then to hold it until WrestleMania 28, where The Undertaker beat Edge for the title. Now this is where it gets confusing because Undertaker held the title about 2 months, and then Vicky Guerrero decided to vacate the title from The Undertaker because he used Hell's Gates on Edge, and then Edge was given the title back. It was a strange setup. Edge held the title then like a week until CM Punk cashed in his Money in the Bank and won it for the first time. Now I am a massive Punk fan, but this was wrong. He should never have won the title when he did, because CM Punk didn't deserve it. Not then. He was too early in his career to deserve any type of a title. So yeah, CM Punk held it for quite a while actually, defeating the likes of JBL and Triple H, I think, which is strange. I think he maybe it wasn't Triple H. It was Great Khali. I would have to go back and have a look at that. But yeah, he did have it for quite a while. And then at Unforgiven 2008, the Adamle original, I don't know if anyone remembers that, Mike Adamle, decided to come up with the idea of a championship scramble match where 5 men would fight and there'd be a 20-minute time limit, and the last man who would have received the last pinfall would be champion by the time the 20 minutes ran out. Now CM Punk was originally meant to defend his title there, but he got injured by Orton backstage, so he wasn't even in the match. Jericho was a surprise replacement for Punk in the match, and he ended up winning, which was great because I love Jericho, so I was really happy to see him win. Jericho only held the title for a while because he lost it to Batista at Cyber Sunday, but then it was the Monday, not the following Monday, but the Monday after, Jericho won the title back from Batista and held it until John Cena, who I hate, returned at Survivor Series and beat Jericho. Cena then held the title again for quite a while. He did lose it to Edge at Elimination Chamber, which was great because it was a massive shock to see Cena actually lose, because he never loses. So yeah, Edge held the title for a wee while after that, because Edge then lost back to Cena at WrestleMania, and Cena lost back to Edge again at Backlash. Then it was Jeff Hardy's turn. Jeff Hardy came out and beat Edge at, it could have been Extreme Rules. I'm not sure if it was Extreme Rules or if it was Judgment Day, I forget. But Jeff Hardy beat Edge and then lost it to CM Punk. CM Punk won the belt again, and then he beat Hardy. Hardy beat Punk again, and then Punk beat Hardy in what would become Hardy's last ever WWE match. So then Punk did hold the title for a while. He lost it to The Undertaker again. Undertaker then lost it to Chris Jericho in the Elimination Chamber, and then the night after that, it was the night after WrestleMania, Jack Swagger cashed in his Money in the Bank and beat Chris Jericho. I really don't like Jack Swagger. It was one of the worst title reigns ever. Anyone will tell you that. Jack Swagger lost the title to Rey Mysterio, and within minutes, Kane decided to cash in his Money in the Bank and beat Rey Mysterio. Now, Kane had won the Money in the Bank earlier that night. He beat Rey Mysterio. It was fantastic because I love Kane. He deserved 13 years since he won his last world title. It was amazing. Kane then, he did lose it to Edge, and Edge then vacated the title thanks to Vicky Guerrero taking it off him, and Dolph Ziggler beat Edge. No, I tell a lie. He was given the title for a night, and then Edge was fired. Ziggler was given the title. Edge came back. Now, I just want to point out this Dolph Ziggler figure. For anyone who doesn't know, Jakks never made Dolph Ziggler. This is Dolph Ziggler when he was in the Spirit Squad, which they did make. So as I have that figure, I thought I might as well use it in this video. Ziggler only held the title, I think it was about an hour, and then Edge was rehired by Teddy Long. Edge then held the title until he had to vacate it for good due to injury and retire. Now, I never really had that much of a fan. I wasn't that big of a fan of Edge, but at the end of the day, it's sad to see any wrestler retire due to injury or whatever the case may be. So then we have Christian. Now, Christian came out of nowhere really and won the title, probably because of the fact that Christian was Edge's best friend and they probably just wanted to dedicate it to Christian. Christian only held the title a short time, because 2 days, I think it was, a few days later on SmackDown, it would have been, yeah, it was a couple of days later on SmackDown, Randy Orton beat Christian, and then there was a couple of back and forth matches between them where Christian regained the title of Orton and Orton beat Christian again, and then Mark Henry, who was on a massive rampage, came out of nowhere and beat Orton for the title, which was fantastic because Mark Henry really, really needed a world championship, and he finally got one. It was amazing. Mark Henry then lost that to the Big Show. The reason behind that I heard was due to injury. Mark Henry was injured and they thought, right, we better give the title to the Big Show, which made no sense because right after Big Show won, Daniel Bryan came in and cashed in his Money in the Bank. Now, as Jakks license ran out for making figures, I don't have any of the rest of the wrestlers who won the world title. So this is the end where I will end here. Now, as you can see, there is kind of a better view of my wrestlers and the world. I guess what you could say is the brief history of the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, there we go. So guys, thanks for watching. As I said at the beginning, this was my first ever video. I don't know how it's going to look when it actually goes up, but thanks. And listen, I do have massive amount of figures, so if anyone wants to leave any suggestions in the comments or even message me for suggestions of what videos you'd like to see me do. I know this wasn't much of a review of the figures, it was more of a review of the world title rather than the figures, but I will get around to reviewing figures as well, and films and TV shows and basically everything that's a bit geeky. So thanks for watching, and until next time, peace out.